All right, everybody, welcome back to the channel. I am Mr. Signing off here. Thank you guys for everyone for the support, watching the channel, liking the videos. Hopefully, if you haven't already, make sure you're hitting the buttons for liking, subscribing to the videos, and of course, drop me any comments you might have about the videos themselves. This video here today, guys, it's Super Bowl weekend. Can't wait for this game. It's going to be a fantastic game, even though obviously my Packers are not in here. Still excited for this game. I think it's going to be a great game to watch. We got two really good defensive teams, I think, that are in this game here, and both teams also have some firepower on offense too. So, it's going to be fun game to see, I think, in a lot of different aspects. Couple videos that I have coming out this weekend here. One is obviously my Super Bowl picks, my predictions for the game itself. And then two, this video here is my Super Bowl prop bets. New thing I'm doing this year is the prop bets. I've always kind of enjoyed them a whole lot, but I'm going over some prop bets that are there for this weekend. If you don't know what prop bets are, they're things like the national anthem time, how long will the national anthem run for, what the color of the Gatorade is going to be that's poured on the coach, at the end of the game, if there is a Gatorade or if there is something poured on the coach, obviously. Some things also do revolve around the actual game itself as far as like, rushing yards for a player or who scores first, those kind of things there as well, right? So these are some of my favorite ones here. What I did is actually I went over, I'm going to do a condensed version of this too, as far as just some of my favorites out of these guys here. But I went over and got some from Sports Illustrated and then another list from Fandango. Both those are printable versions that you can go online, print those up. Pretty fun to have like at a Super Bowl party, easy way to do some, fun betting, some wagering, could be over who has to eat more hot dogs than the other person, whatever. It's not like exactly I'm, advocating, betting and those kind of things there, because you have to bet at your own risk just to make sure everybody knows there. Those kind of things there as far as legal purposes. But it's a fun little thing to do, whatever your wager is, right? So, like I said, Sports Illustrated and Fandango has some Prize Picks, Kalshi. There's a ton of different ones out there. At the end here, if there's any other prop bets you guys want me to cover, either sheets, websites, just your own favorite ones that you want me to go over, please drop a comment down below so that way I can get back to you and maybe even make another video based off those prop bets itself, or just respond to some of those individual prop bets that you guys might have. Okay, so without further ado, I'm going to get started here. This first list is the Sports Illustrated prop bets. Thought this was a pretty good one, had a pretty lengthy amount of bets on there itself, and it starts out with the national anthem time. This one here is set at 119 and 119.5. That is the average. Historically, it's significantly less than that, but since 2021, it's actually been creeping up. So, and this one here is going to have a jazzy rendition by the national lead singer. So I'm going to go with the over on this guy here for the national anthem at that 119.5. I think it was Chris Stapleton last that did it at 121.5. Just a couple years ago, so I'm gonna say kind of around there. Alicia Keys also did hers. I think it was like 213. She was quite a bit over. I don't necessarily think it's gonna be like that, but could this be 2 minutes and 3 seconds, 2 minutes to 8 seconds, something like that in there? I can see something like that. So I'm going to go on the over on the national anthem. Next is the coin toss. This is such a 50-50 game. Statistics, again, go with the tails. I'm a tails never fails kind of guy, so I would bet on the tails on that one there. Game winner. Kind of spoiling this as far as my other video, as far as my picks for the game, the over-under, the spread, those kind of things there on that. But as far as the game winner, I will go ahead and say it in this one here. If you guys have been watching my other videos throughout these playoffs as well, talking about my power rankings and my Super Bowl predictions, well, here we are. It's the Seahawks in the Super Bowl, like I was saying there, and the Seahawks are going to win this game here over the New England Patriots. So next we have the total at the over-under at 45.5. I got the under in this game here. Like I said, some pretty good explosive players on offense for these teams, but I really think that both these teams are going to play more of a defensive game throughout this one here. The only reason really why I could see this going over is, well, I guess two reasons. One, both these teams actually do have really good, special teams kickoff return teams that can get them some really good field position, if not actually score. And then two, turnovers. I think there's going to be some turnovers in this game, and depending upon where those turnovers are in the field could lead to some either scores off those turnovers or some really good field position as well, right? So I think that could be the deciding factor there for it to actually go on an over of that. First, offensive play. Both these teams, so the options obviously are run or pass. Both these teams have played a total of 5 games throughout these playoffs. Both these teams have run on their first offensive play in all 5 of those games. So I'm obviously going to go with a run for these teams in this game. If they're wanting to trick up the opponent, hey, we've been running, we're a run first team every game, and the first play this game we're going to go pass. Maybe. But odds are definitely that both these teams are big-time running teams, and that's what they like to start out the game with every time throughout these playoffs for sure. Darnold passing yards, I'm going to go with the under on that there. He's been averaging 235 in these playoffs, and I think the Patriots have a very good defense out there. They've had a while to scheme for this game here. I think the Seahawks are going to rely more heavily on their running game. The over-under's at 228.5 again, so even though he's been averaging 235, I'm going to go with the under on that there. Diggs receiving yards, he's at 43.5. Now, he, throughout these playoffs, his games are 16, 40, and 17. So he hasn't gotten to 43.5, over 43.5 once throughout these playoffs. Granted, they played some very good defenses for sure that the Patriots have throughout these playoffs. The Seahawks are also one of those great defenses. They've been playing fantastic as well. So I don't think all of a sudden he's going to turn it around against the Seahawks in this game here. Like I said too, I think both these teams are going to maybe try running the ball a little bit more throughout this game as well. So I'm going to go ahead and go with the under on that for Stephon Diggs. Ramondre Stevenson, rushing yards, he's at 50.5 on that guy, and I'm betting the over on that. Hit him throughout these playoffs, 53, 70, and 71. So all 3 games so far, he's gone over those 50 yards or 50.5 yards. And I don't see that changing here in this game here. So, I think they're going to, again, rely more on that running game, so I'm going to go with the over on that. Kenneth Walker rushing yards, he's at 75.5, so a little bit more of an uptick on that guy there. Without Charbonnet that being there, the running game is really obviously much more relied upon him. They're not even going to their backup, their third string running back so much. It's really been the Kenneth Walker show there. He has 116 and then 62 rushing yards. So he did have a game that was under the 75.5. But I think in this game here, their offensive line is going to dominate that line of scrimmage there. I've been saying it all playoffs. Patriots have really been playing some really good defense. Opportunistic defense, good against the pass, those kind of things there. But their defensive line, getting that push, getting sacks, those kind of things, hasn't been a big thing of the Patriots all season long. I think they're going to maybe not rely upon the pass so much, but be able to run a whole lot more. So I'm betting the over on that with Kenneth Walker. Jackson Smith-Njigba, the over-under at 94.5. He can get those kind of yards for sure. I don't think versus Christian Gonzalez, one of the best cornerbacks in the league, with also a Patriots mindset that's been this way for the last 25 years or so, that you take away the team's number one threat. That's a Bill Belichick thing. It's been a Patriots thing. The Vrabel is obviously the descendant of Bill Belichick. I think the Patriots are absolutely going to devote everything to stopping Jackson Smith-Njigba from, tearing up this game. I think he's going to still have a very good game. Could I see him having 60 to 80 yards or so, that kind of thing there, maybe a touchdown in there? Absolutely. I don't think you're going to be able to shut him down completely. But I would lean, more on the 50 yards in this game compared to like 100 yards in this game. So I'm going to go with the under on JSN there. And then on the other side of that, because you devote so much time on JSN, who I believe is going to have a good game, maybe even a very big game, would be Cooper Kupp. The over-under on him is only 31.5, and I've seen some sites have it much lower, like in the 20s for Cooper Kupp on that receiving yardage. He is, I believe, going to be, he's at 60 and 36 yards in these two playoff games. So both games he's been over, and that's been against teams necessarily that weren't just trying to shut down JSN completely. I think so much devotion is going to be on that Cooper Kupp is going to be able to tear up this game. Even if the Seattle Seahawks aren't really going to devote a ton of time to passing the ball, I think when they are, a lot of those yards, maybe touchdowns as well, can go to Cooper Kupp instead. So again, I got the over on the 31.5. Longest touchdown of the game. I think the Seahawks have the more explosive players. I would probably put the Patriots' most explosive players being Stevenson. So can he break out a long run? Absolutely. I think the Seahawks have a multitude of guys that can have a long reception run with Walker, Kupp, JSN, obviously those kind of things there. Both quarterbacks do have big arms. Hopefully, Drake May's shoulder is feeling better, but that might limit his deep field, down the field passing ability in this game. So for those reasons, I'm going to go with the Seattle Seahawks to have the longest touchdown of the game. Longest field goal of the game, I'm going to flip this up, and even though I believe the Seahawks have the better kicker, I'm going to go with the Patriots to have the longer field goal in the game, just basically based off of how the defenses are, the score of the game, the flow of the game, those kind of things there. I think the Pats are going to have the longest field goal. Last touchdown of the game, this is not last score, but last touchdown of the game, I'm going to go with the Seattle Seahawks as well. I see maybe like an early fourth quarter touchdown to, not necessarily seal this game, but to put it in a pretty good distance out. I could then see maybe Patriots getting like a field goal, getting it closer, and then trying to get a touchdown to eventually, tie or win the game, and not getting that last touchdown that's needed. So I got the Seattle Seahawks for the last touchdown in the game. Total sacks, over-unders at 4.5 for these games here in the playoffs. The Seahawks are averaging 4 sacks between themselves and their opponents in this game. Drake May is also but he's susceptible for getting sacked a little more than a regular quarterback that maybe has been in this situation before. A veteran. Also, he's a quarterback that does like to scramble, so he holds on to the ball a little bit longer. Their offensive line, not as good as the Seahawks and maybe some other teams that the Seahawks have been playing throughout these playoffs. So I expect the Seahawks to be able to get to Drake May a couple times, maybe get like 3, maybe 4 sacks for the Seahawks. And meanwhile, the Patriots able to get 1 or 2 on Sam Darnold to get over that 4.5 sacks. So I don't think it's going to be a sack crazy game, but if it's 3-2, there you're at 5. You're on the over right there. So I'm betting the over on the total sacks. Total turnovers on this game here, it's at 2.5. Like I said, I think the difference in this game, score-wise, how many points there are put up, those kind of things there, and obviously who's going to win this game really can be dictated off the turnovers. Sam Darnold, he's had some good games in these playoffs. The last 10 weeks of the regular season, he was actually playing pretty poorly. He's been known also for having some big games, playoff games even, where he does turn the ball over a ton. Drake May has been possibly playing his worst that he's been playing throughout the season in these playoffs, turning the ball over as well a ton. Granted, again, those teams that Drake May was going up against were some of the best defenses in all of football. But so is the Seattle Seahawks, was one of the best defenses in all of football. Maybe playing the best out of all those teams down the stretch here. So the fact that it's only at 2.5, I wonder what the turnover margin would be like if it was, say a couple years ago or something like that. Rodgers versus Brady or Rodgers versus Mahomes, or those kind of things. There, would it be at 0.5, 1.5? It looks like the odds bettors already know there's going to be some turnovers in this game. average fumbles, interceptions, and fumbles lost for the Seahawks just in their couple games have been at 2. That's not fumbles, but that's fumbles lost. It's actually the turnovers. And again, now they're not going up against Stafford; they're going up against Drake May, right? So I'm going to go with the over on that one there at the 2.5. Gatorade bath color. All right, this is a fun little one, right? The odds on Sports Illustrated, we got a clear water, some kind of clear liquid like water, or maybe a clear Gatorade, or orange Gatorade, and then the other option is essentially any other color. Now, if we go back and look at this, Eagles had a green yellow. Before that, we had blue in 21, 22, and 23, purple in 24, 25. So essentially, we haven't had an orange color for years now, although orange historically does have the most times ever poured on a coach at 5, right? But we haven't had it in years now. I think I read red has not been poured on a coach in 25 years, which was pretty crazy to think of that in itself. A lot of times teams do like to go with maybe colors that are in color Gatorade, just superstitious wise, that's in their colors itself, so could I see a green or a blue going in there, maybe a red for the Patriots, right? But all those colors are not orange, and water or clear substance hasn't been used in quite a while as well. So I think it's going to be one of those. Super Bowl MVP. We got quarterback or any other position. As I've said here, I don't really think that this is going to be a huge passing game for either one of these teams. I think there's definitely going to be some big passes, some key moments. I think there will be some passing touchdowns in this game from both quarterbacks. I think both these quarterbacks will at least have one passing touchdown in this game. But I don't see either one of these quarterbacks going for 250 or 300 yards with 3 touchdowns pass as well, right? So to me, that kind of screams more either running back, wide receiver. Don't forget also in 96, the Packers had Desmond Howard win as a kick returner, and both these teams have very good kick returners, right? Even some defensive player. So, I think that in my bets, I would go with any other player over the quarterback. My top 3, by the way, guys, would be Kenneth Walker, Cooper Kupp, and Ramondre Stevenson winning the MVP for the Super Bowl game here. All right, so those are my Sports Illustrated picks. And then here I'm going to go into the FanDuel prop bet picks as well, because some different ones on here. Again, if you're making your own, you can make up, pick and choose different ones from other ones. And again, if there's other ones that you guys like, send those my way. I can answer those or make another video for those ones as well. So FanDuel prop bets, we have the more turnovers. I have the Pats on that. Again, Drake May has been turning the ball over quite a bit. That Seattle Seahawks defense is one of the best out there. Who's going to score first? The Seattle Seahawks I have on that, guys. The lead at halftime, I also have the Seattle Seahawks leading at halftime. Not sure if I have any score changes exactly throughout this game. Maybe early on, first, second quarter, that kind of thing there. But I think that not that they're going to be winning comfortably, leading comfortably, but I think the Seattle Seahawks are going to be ahead most of this game. If it's by 1 point, if it's by 4 points, will it be by a touchdown at times? Those kind of things there. But I think the Seattle Seahawks will be leading at halftime. Another kind of little fun one. Bad Bunny, how many songs will he perform during the halftime show? They got an 11.5. The betting range, what I see as far as all the rumors, is anywhere from 10 to 14. All right, so we got 10, 11 below the over-under, and then we got obviously 12, 13, 14. So we got 2 to 3 on that. I'm going to go with the 3. I'm going to bet the over and say that he's going to do over 11 and a half songs on that. Cardi B wears Diggs jersey. Yes. I don't really know if I have any insight in that there. I just think it's a fun thing when you see that stuff. So I'm going to go yes on Cardi B wearing a Diggs jersey. Gatorade or water. Again, I already said any other color other than clear. So I'm going to go with the Gatorade on that. Quarterback wins, Super Bowl MVP. As I said there, I think no, it's going to be some other player than the quarterbacks in this game. And margin of victory is a tiebreaker some people use on there. I got margin of victory being at 4 points. So tight game here between the Seattle Seahawks and the Patriots. And guys, that is all the prop bets that I have. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Like I said, if you haven't already, make sure you're liking and subscribing to the channel. Let me know about the prop bets, where you think I'm right, where you think I'm wrong. If you guys have any other prop bets you want me to weigh in on, or, you know, if you have a single one or a whole other video on Prize Picks or these other companies out there as well, Kalshi, those kind of things there that are going on as well. Let me know about those, and hopefully you guys have a fun time over the weekend and enjoy the Super Bowl. I am Mr. Sound Off signing off. See you later, everyone.